Poseidon is the second child of Kronos and Rhea, after Hades and before Zeus. After the battle of the Titanomachy, which overthrew the Titan fathers and uncles, the three brothers played a game to divide territories. Poseidon was given 70% of the Earth's surface, including all the rivers and seas. The Titan Oceanus received a retirement ticket. Essentially, among these gods, Hades is the wealthiest, while Zeus is the poorest. This is because Hades manages the underworld, all the real estate and minerals, gold mines and silver mines. He manages them all. Poseidon, on the other hand, manages all the seafood. Zeus only has a bit of clouds, rain, thunder, lightning, grass, and trees on the ground, plus some birds on Olympus. Although he owns one of the 12 representative seats of Olympus, Poseidon prefers to stay in his own territory. However, he does not remain just inside his palace. He also likes to travel and inspect the world he manages, or to pursue women. Every time he has to attend meetings at Olympus, Poseidon rides his 4-horse chariot and uses the trident that the Cyclopes forged for him during the Titanomachy to part the way on the surface of the beloved Mediterranean Sea, driving straight to Olympus. Besides the function of parting waves and clearing the path, the trident also has the ability to create rivers, canals, hot springs, and even earthquakes. That is why Poseidon is also considered the god of earthquakes. Every time the ground shakes, it is because Poseidon is angry. Poseidon is an unpredictable god, vengeful and with a long memory. Therefore, those who depend on the sea for their livelihood, like sailors or fishermen, live in constant fear. Despite making many offerings to ensure a smooth sea voyage and a safe return home to their families, when faced with an angry Poseidon who has lost his temper, all living beings are equal. Each one gets one life. There is no distinction between those who worship him and those who do not. Everyone faces the risk of being swallowed by the sea. On one occasion, Zeus made the gods unhappy. So Poseidon, together with Apollo and Hera, rose up, stole the lightning bolt, and tied Zeus to a bed. However, Briareus, whom Zeus had once freed from the hell of Tartarus, overheard the plan and untied Zeus. The rebellion failed, and Poseidon and Apollo had to be punished. They went to work for King Laomedon of Troy for 1 year, and together they built a magnificent wall. But because the king had an arrogant attitude, Poseidon hated even his descendants later on and decided to stand on the side of the Greeks in the famous Battle of Troy. However, not all Greeks were helped by Poseidon. The king of Ithaca, Odysseus, once blinded a Cyclops of the new species that Poseidon had fathered. So Poseidon obstructed Odysseus on his journey home after the battle, contributing to the creation of the famous Odyssey epic, which we will talk about in a later video. In addition, Poseidon also had a fight with his niece Athena, competing for the patronage of the capital city of the Attica region. The Olympian gods organized a gift-giving contest. Whichever gift the people of Attica chose, that person would become the patron of the city. Poseidon created a spring with salt water, while Athena gave them an olive tree. The Greeks preferred using olive oil over seawater, so they decided Athena was the winner. From then on, the city was called Athens, or Athena in Greek. After losing, Poseidon was very bitter and sent a flood of monsters to harass the people of Athens. In another story, Minos, the son of Zeus and Europa, wanted to become the first king of the island of Crete and asked Poseidon to grant him a sign. Poseidon made a rather roundabout move by sending Minos a bull. Minos was then supposed to sacrifice the bull back to Poseidon. But Minos loved this bull so much that he decided to sacrifice another bull instead. Poseidon was very angry when he saw this and asked the goddess of love, Aphrodite, to punish Minos by making Queen Pasiphae fall in love with the bull, leading to the birth of a Minotaur, half human and half bull, named Asterius. Seeing that Poseidon's unpredictable temper was an obstacle to the natural order, Zeus decided that his brother needed a wife. The one who became the queen of the sea was Amphitrite, a Nereid nymph and the granddaughter of the former ruler of the sea, Oceanus. Poseidon had noticed Amphitrite long ago during the times he watched the Nereids while they were bathing, and he decided to find a way to meet her and propose. However, when she encountered this stranger spying on her bathing, Amphitrite was so frightened that she fled to Atlas at the end of the earth. Poseidon had to ask a dolphin to inform him of her whereabouts before he could find her. Another version says that the dolphin personally caught Amphitrite and delivered her to Poseidon. To repay the favor, Poseidon allowed the dolphin species, when they die, to become a constellation in the sky. One fish becomes an official, and the whole family benefits. With Amphitrite, Poseidon had a son named Triton. But Triton had mixed genes, so he did not look like his father, nor his mother. Instead, he had a lower half like a snake, a wide mouth and big ears. 2 ears that looked like fish. Triton often held in his hand a very large conch shell, which I will call the tuba generale. Every time he blew it, it caused big waves and strong winds. But only Triton was allowed to blow it, and only when ordered by Poseidon. Sailors, whenever they heard the sound of the tuba, had to quickly find shelter. They regarded Triton as a benevolent god who forewarned them of disaster. There was a trumpet player named Yoon who thought he was better at playing the trumpet and challenged Triton to a solo. But he tried his best, puffing his mouth, bulging his eyes, blowing until his face turned red and his ears turned purple, blowing until foam came out of his mouth. But he could not overcome the sound of Triton's tuba. The result was that he exhausted himself, ran out of breath, and died on the spot. Poseidon also had no shortage of extramarital affairs. One involved Medusa, a beautiful girl and priestess of Athena. Poseidon desperately desired Medusa and pursued her for a long time. Medusa tried to escape from Poseidon by running to the temple of Athena. But Poseidon did not care about his niece at all and assaulted Medusa right inside the temple. Athena could not do anything to Poseidon, so she took her anger out on Medusa by transforming her into a monster. Many years later, Medusa was killed by the hero Perseus, leading to Chrysaor and Pegasus emerging from her body. They are considered the children of Poseidon and Medusa. Another story involves his sister, Demeter. Poseidon once tried to pursue Demeter, but she rejected him. Demeter escaped Poseidon by transforming into a mare and blending in with the herd of horses belonging to King Onkeos. But Demeter could not hide her divine nature. Poseidon recognized this immediately and transformed into a stallion. He joined the herd and forced himself upon her. The result was Despoina and Arion, horses that understand human language. Furthermore, we have the story of the goddess of love, Aphrodite. Although she was married to Hephaestus, Aphrodite had an affair with the god of war, Ares. Hephaestus trapped both of them with an invisible net and brought them before the gods to humiliate them. However, Poseidon sympathized with this couple, so he persuaded Hephaestus to release them, and conveniently had 2 children with Aphrodite himself. Around Poseidon are powerful assistants, including the sea god Nereus and his daughters, the Nereids, as mentioned earlier. The white-haired Nereus has the nickname, the Old Man of the Sea. He is kind-hearted, straightforward, has the gift of prophecy, and has never lied to anyone. He is always ready to guide people on everything they ask. The Nereid nymphs often rise from the deep seabed, carried by waves, spreading their songs everywhere, and protecting the sea journeys of humans to ensure they are peaceful and safe. In addition, there is Proteus, also a white-haired god with the gift of prophecy, but not as kind as Nereus. If you want to ask him something, you must be persistent, brave, and must surprise and catch Proteus off guard. Glaucus was originally a poor fisherman in the land of Boeotia, Greece. One day, he pulled up a net full of fish, but when he dumped them on the grassy shore, they struggled violently and all jumped back into the sea. Finding it strange, Glaucus tried pulling up a few blades of grass and smelling them, then put one in his mouth to taste and see what flavor it had. This was a divine grass that Kronos had planted long ago, so in just a moment, Glaucus felt unusually euphoric. He felt the open sea was strangely beautiful. Then he wanted to go down to the bottom of the deep sea to see how sea creatures lived, and Glaucus jumped headfirst into the sea. Oceanus, the goddess Tethys, and the Nereid nymphs received Glaucus. They used their power to purify the mortal and short-lived nature of Glaucus, transforming him into an immortal god. And so Glaucus became an old man with disheveled hair and beard and grew a tail like a fishtail. Glaucus also knew prophecy, like Nereus and Proteus. He was very kind to seafarers, listening to all their prayers and helping them whenever necessary. As for Oceanus, he already belonged to the generation of old gods. The fame of Oceanus was not inferior to Zeus in any way, but the authority to manage the ocean had been handed over to Poseidon. Therefore, the affairs of Olympus did not concern Oceanus at all. The children of Oceanus still ruled over all the sources of rivers and streams. And rivers and streams, that is enough. The video ends here. In the following videos, we will climb to the peak of Olympus to continue with the 12 gods. Goodbye and see you again.